Yo. So I wanted to start this episode with Pep Guardiola's words about Nunes and his potential as a right back, which then leads to a cold, open conversation.
Being incredible right back. As much as he can be an incredible right back. Because he's a holding midfielder with incredible physicality, go back. And as much as focus, and he can become one of the best. It's a question of him now. We talk a lot about that. It's just change your mind and feel that you can feel it that. And you have this special attributions, to play in the sides. So, yeah, it's really the last 2-3 games have played unbelievable.
Yeah. And so this first question will be, do you agree or not? And then second, we'll go through like a tier system that I had, and we'll kind of go from there. And we can't have a Matthias Nunes conversation and not start off with our pods. Nunes propaganda expert, Sharpie Charlie, do you agree with Pep?
Yes, 100% yes. I'm happy Pep agreed with me because I saw the light before he did. But no, he played him last year. And as I told people, it was his first season in position, and he got better throughout the season. And so that's all you can ask for out of a player who's starting a new spot is to improve. We see him as like, I don't know, $50, $60 million signing. This isn't a Calvin Phillips flop. This is someone who literally said, hey, I want to change positions to stay at this club, fight for my place. In the same way that like a Zinchenko was, celebrated for it, it was like Nunes was denigrated for it. Like, wait, he's not good enough for midfield. How could he be a City player? Like, I thought we enjoyed players that put the club before themselves. That's the whole point, right? You play for the badge. And so he's done that. And he just continues to refine his craft and show all the physical qualities that he has because he is like, I joke when I say this, he's like a Portuguese Kyle Walker. It's very similar when you look at their top speed, and he's actually better on the ball than Kyle Walker ever was because he's a midfielder by trade. So it's if you had to make a decision like, hey, what do we want? Size, speed, power, all those things, you build someone like Matthias Nunes.
Yeah, and he's getting better defensively. My whole thing that I would joke about him last season was he did the Cancelo cool tackle where he would just kind of leave a foot out lazily, calling it a attempted tackle, and he would just kind of get burned. He's doing that a lot less. He is focusing more on like almost like basketball style, just putting a body on a player and using his physicality to kind of push and knock him over where he edges that line. And I love it because the game is so much more physical. You get away with it. He gets to be pretty aggressive defensively and potentially start a turnover. He's fantastic on the ball. And I like, hey, how often is the trend on this pod that you have a thought, a take, a mindset where it takes us a little bit to get to? And we embrace the Sharpie Charlie clean sheet. I should have known that one day we would all see the light when it comes to news.
I'll say this. It could all have gone left, right? He could have had a terrible performance in the Club World Cup or, whatever. But I will say the run-in last year is what gave me all the hope I needed because he just performed so well as we made our way to the top four and to third place in the Premier League. He was a huge part of that. He was in at 11. He had the game-winning assist and the game-winning goal in back-to-back weeks. People forget about that. And the last thing I want to say is our bias as a collective supporters group is hilarious because remember Vardy all messed up a lot last year?
Yes.
Like he had they basically had the same amount of mistakes that cost games or gave up goals, but people let that slide. And people would say like, well, he's not a left back. He's giving his best. He's a center back by trade. He needs to be moved in. So Matthias Nunes just automatically was like, hey, I mastered right back in 4 months. Like, so when you talk about that phrase, which I hate, which I'll say here, the bozo gene, like he made a mistake. And I think that's a really immature, childish way to think about something. But I'm also like very like anti hearing childish things from adults because I teach children. So I want adults to use bigger words and better vocab. And so many of you who typed the word bozo in 2025 is telling about yourself. So do better.
That's fair. That's fair. And not only that, he was a midfielder who then Pep basically said he is not smart enough to be a midfielder, then put him in left wing where he was leading the team in goals, assists while he was a winger, and then moved on to the opposite end of the pitch as a right back. He has done anything and everything that has been asked of him. If he can stay at this position, if he's willing to stay at this position, Pep said the good thing. It's all up to him. So my next step is, what tier does he fit in? And if he can, to be the best when it comes to right backs, I have 4 tiers of right backs. I have 5 in each, I believe. And so the first tier is where he hopes to be one day, and that is first tier is Achraf Hakimi, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Jules Kounde, Denzel Dumfries, and Jurgen Timber. That is, and obviously Jurgen Timber is like the bottom of that first tier. But he's still very good. Then there's the second tier, which is old man Danny Carvajal, Giovanni Di Lorenzo, Pedro Porro, Reece James, and I could put Daniel Munoz of Crystal Palace in there because he really is a baller, and defensively he's fantastic. So I really like him. And then the third tier, if you don't think Danny Munoz fits in the second tier, you could put him in the third. But he's with Vanderson, Tino Livramento, Jeremy Frimpong, and Conrad Leimer. I think by the end of the season, that's the group where Nunes could be. If he continues to progress, he could be in that third tier by the end of this season, just off of ability and everything. And then the fourth tier, this is the tier that I think he is in now, his contemporaries, Marcos Llorente, Ben White, Diego Dallo, Ola Aina, Lecharel Gertita. Like, I think those are all the kind of the people that you could comp him to. Obviously, he's probably on the bottom of that fourth tier, but those are the people that I could see him being with. How do you feel about that tier? Those tiers? Oh, muted.
Sorry, can you read that second tier again?
Yes. Hold on. Tarik just joined. What's up, Tarik? We are currently talking the Matheus Nunes, Pep's quote about how if it's all up to him, but he could be one of the best right backs in the world. I am going through tiers of what I feel is the first, second, third, and fourth tier of all of the right backs in the world. So quickly, I'll go through them again. First tier is Hakimi, Alexander-Arnold, Kounde, Dumfries, and Timber. The second tier is Carvajal, Di Lorenzo, Porro, James, and Muniz, however you say his name, from Crystal Palace. And then the third tier is Vanderson, Livramento, Frimpong, and Lamer. And the fourth tier is where I think he is right now. Probably the bottom of it, but still there. Llorente, White, Dallo, Aina, and Gertruda.
So my question, when you ask,
you think he's at the bottom of that tier?
That's what. Okay, Terry, let me cook real quick.
That's just me being nice. I'm not trying to insult him, but yeah, go for it.
Let's cook. So I'm ready for. I'm in my crunk mode. I'm ready in the kitchen. So I just wrote down some names that I know right now he's better than, with the combination of a right back being offensive and defensive. Right, like he's a better defender than Trent Alexander-Arnold. That I will not think anybody could tell me that Trent plays defense better than Matheus Nunes. The only thing Trent does better is hit long passes. But Nunes is faster, he's more physical, and he definitely can overlap. And Trent never overlaps, right? So he expands the whole pitch. He does the whole touchline. Carvajal's old. Di Lorenzo's old. Porro, great going forward, not great going back. Munoz, he is super balanced. So I would say right there for me, I would put, if you want to say in that second tier, like I would do that. Oh, and also, I believe you said Reece James in the third tier, right? Like when you got to the third tier, Reece James is like a name. And that's the thing. Like some of these players are like, what have you done versus what are you right now? And
Reece
that's what I
James
was hearing.
can't stay healthy, but if he was healthy, in my opinion, Reece James is in the top tier because when he was healthy, he was amazing. But it's hard to question him now because he's just not healthy. As a matter of fact, he probably plays center back more than he plays right back nowadays.
Yeah, and I think it's really, it comes down to styles make fights, right? It's like a boxer. Like, what type of right back do you want? Because Reece James now actually inverts more than he goes like a Trent does versus going up and down the pitch. So again, I won't say you're better than someone. It's like, what type do you want? And I'm going to take Nunes to go in the same vein as those guys. I don't think he's super far down that list. The only thing you can have against him is experience, but the performances for me and the physical profile, I will put him in that top 10, top 12 range. So somewhere between second, third, I think is fair. Like again, Trent, I think gets rated high because his skill set is so elite at what he does. But in reality, like, we all know he's a liability if you put him against the best left wingers in the world. What do you think, Tarik?
When he said Diego Dalot, I was like, oh, wait, hold on, stop. We are not going to just have slander on the recording. We're just not. Diego Dalot is not better than Mateus Nunes. It's just not.
And I didn't say I said he is in that tier with those players, and I
shouldn't even be in the same tier.
And I know, and when I said most of those names, I know but also I don't want to put too much on hit. I would much rather you guys do that, and because then if I put them too high and then you guys agree with me, then we're just all agreeing with each other. So for the sake of conversation, it's good that I put him lower.
Yeah, I think a lot of the names that you said, the point was about Mateus Nunes, so it doesn't really matter about all the rest of whether they should be in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, or whatever. But I do think that he's definitely, in my opinion, he was rated low to be in that 4th tier. Definitely in that. Because
I was saying by the end of the season he could be in the 3rd tier, but it sounds like he right now.
I think he's there already.
He's in the 3rd tier. Yes.
Yeah, I think he's there already. I think if we changed, and Sharpie's already done this. Sharpie has already, he's already put him in a right back box in his head. Yes. For a lot of people, he's still a midfielder, so he doesn't really fit in this right back box. If we just classify him as a right back, forgetting all of the past that he had as a midfielder, just say he's a right back and judge him on that, makes the odd mistake, but everybody does. Doesn't make any more mistakes than anybody else that I've seen. We know he offers a lot going forward. We've seen the pace, the physicality. I think, again, if he said, I am forever and always a right back, he would be, and again, the list of names that you said wasn't like super deep. It's not super great.
No, it's not.
But he'd be in that. I don't know how many names you listed, but I think it'd be hard to say 10 names
20.
above him.
Yeah.
You said 20 names. So he's definitely in that 10 to 15 range. And I had to do count it all out to see if I can get to even 10 people in front of him. Yeah, the Hakimis are in front of him for sure. Again, I'm with Sharpie. I don't know that. I do know that he offers more defensively than Trent. If you ask me on balance, how much way larger Trent's offensive abilities are versus how much way larger Nunes' defensive abilities are, what does it weigh out? I don't know. But it's, again, I just don't think it's that big a gap.
Okay. So y'all are saying he already is top 10, top 12 best right backs. And you could even say 10 is pushing it, or 10 is and that's being rude to him.
And I think that's why we haven't gone and bought a new right back, because there's no one that is like a standout star. Because if there was one, we would have went and bought him.
Yeah, and I'll say this: 15 is his floor for me right now. Like, if you're going to say
probably,
the experience thing, right? Because he hasn't defended for years. Cool. I will cede that to you. But as far as attributes and like present day form, not just what have you done for me lately, what are you doing right now? Mateus Nunes is the top 12 right back in the world right now. And he's done it in the Premier. And again, he has more competition to go against, but it's not like he's been out here shipping goals or else he wouldn't play. Like, if he was actually bad at his job, Pep would be playing Rico Lewis there or moving over John Stones or figuring out something else to work. He's playing because he's better. And we saw that the 2 matches we lost early in the season, when he wasn't on the pitch, it did not look good for Rico. God bless. Like, Rico's up in his natural position, and now Nunes is in where he's supposed to be for City. And I think the sky's the limit for this man.
That's nice. And this was nice for a little cold, open thought experiment. Let's go.
You know the vibes. Shady gang, shady gang, shady gang.
Yo. 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 Hey, and welcome to Season 5, Episode 155 of Shades of
This
Blue.
is culturally inappropriate.
We are the most comprehensive show about Manchester City, covering both the men's and women's game, spanning both sides of the Mason-Dixon line. We make it art over here, capitalize A. I am CrunkChocolate. I'm here with my show bros, Sharpie Charlie, Tarik. How's it going? How you doing? How you feeling?
Man, last Monday of October, coming off a very interesting sports weekend for me and Tarik. We had some conversations about that on X. It's the highs and the lows. But no, man, I feel good. Happy to be here. Back in my black shirt because City didn't win. So, when they win, I'll pop some color out.
Got the blackish on.
Say, I got a black T-shirt back here somewhere I can throw on.
Well, see, you got that navy blue, so it works. It's a dark color that's not that blue.
Because I did get that new Fort Wayne.
That's right.
Fort Wayne FC. So I do have it right here to throw on, but I didn't wear it today. I didn't get a chance to change clothes. So yeah,
looks good.
But feeling good, man. Glad to be here. As good as you can be after a loss. But thankfully, it dampened my weekend, but it didn't ruin it because at the end of the day, it's still early in the season, and I'm not gonna crash out too soon. I'm gonna save it for later. So
let's go.
Feeling good.
I like it. Yeah. All right. Hey, the Packers won, so at least I had one team that
crazy in the fourth quarter. My God.
Yeah, man. I was not looking forward to losing to Aaron Rodgers, especially after he spent the entire week being fake as fuck. Like, bro was talking so much smack about the Packers and everything when he left. And over the last couple of years, we refused to talk about him. And now we're about to play him. And he's like, oh, I have all this love for them. And I had such a good time. And I really want to retire a Packer. That loss happened. Jordan Love went up to him. He's trying to talk to him. Aaron wanted nothing to do with it. Aaron was like talking to him like this. Yep. And you saw Jordan Love, he was like, he followed him for a few steps trying to talk to him. And Aaron just kept going. It's like, oh, you little fake loser. This is why nobody likes you. Anyway, shout out to the third child for our intro. If you're watching on YouTube, like it, hit that thumbs up, just subscribe if this is your first time here. We appreciate it. Welcome. It's good to see you. If you're listening, audio experience, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, any of those streaming services that allows you to rate, we need a 5-star rating immediately. Please thank you. The best way to help our podcast, that way, rating, review, subscribing, all those other things, tagging on social media, that's the free way. But if you want to support the podcast financially, our Patreon, baby. We have plenty going on. Out right now is our Swansea Carabao Cup match preview with Luke of Swancast. So check that out. We have our match preview for Man City women who play West Ham this weekend. We have Leslie. She is a great West Ham men's and women's supporter, goes to as many games as she can. We talked about that club. Episodes this week, we have our episode with Daps. He's gonna that episode is already out by the time you listen on public forums. We have Santi Boaza talking Argentinian football, and then this weekend our episode with Douglas Reyes Cerrone comes out. Plenty of that's 5 episodes. I just named 5 episodes that are dropping on our Patreon this week. $6 a month. That's 5 episodes for $6 a month. 1 week. That's 1 week. Bang for your buck. Check us out. It helps us support the pod, keeps us growing, inspired to connect with other most dope people. Check our episode descriptions. All that information is there. Just click that link and sign up. In today's episode, we will start by celebrating Black History Month in England by doing a Man City men and women's starting 11. I figure we will just do it collaboratively instead of us each giving our own starting 11 because, to be honest, like the heights of the heights. I gave a nice list of all the players that I could think of that I played a lot of games and things like that. So we'll give shouts to all of these players, but it's pretty like stuck in with who will be the players. I figure we'll do a starting 11 and then 5 for subs types of vibes, and so that way we can get almost like some honorable mention going. And when we talk about City men, we have the 1-goal defeat at Villa to review before moving on to previewing the Carabao Cup against Swansea City and the Premier League match against Bournemouth. Shock, awe, and applause is where we talk about anything footy outside of Manchester City, and then we'll end the episode with our City women segment, Baby Blue Baddies, where we have a match, a WSL match, to talk about, to preview, and give score predictions for. All right, let's get it. Starting 11, all Black men's and women's starting 11. Again, I gave a list. It's in the doc. I'll go through all the names, and we can kind of just pick from there. If there's anybody that I missed, I apologize. Also, feel free to just mention it if you think that they should, I guess, start. Worst case, you can just add it to the list yourself. But for forwards, so I just figure we'll do the 4-3-3.
That's what I was about to ask. That works for me.
Yeah. So for forwards, I have down Emmanuel Adebayor. Wow, goodness gracious. Khadija Bunny Shaw, Nikita Paris, Mario Balotelli, Wilfred Boney, Kelechi Iheanacho, Sean Goder, Sean Wright Phillips, Jeremy Doku, Leroy Sané, Trevor Sinclair, and Raheem Sterling.
So, Crunk, since there are 3 of us, should we each do 1 forward apiece? Or do we want to be unanimous on all 3?
No, I mean, I feel like we could maybe just like pitch a player and then either we agree or disagree.
Okay, sounds good.
So, I mean, we can do that. Each pick one and then we either agree or disagree with it.
Can I just say I plan to not steal. I was planning to add this to my stuff for tomorrow night too. So I'm gonna open this up. I want to see what the rest of the world says. But we'll see if they actually.
No, I love this. Yeah, no, I love this. Okay, so just for the sake, I'll start with strikers, and just for the sake, because there really aren't that many City women Black players to put on. So for like the benefit of the doubt, I kind of put them in there automatically. But also when it comes to Khadija Shaw, like
she is the Holland of the WSL. Isn't that she deserves her spot? Absolutely, absolutely belongs in this list. She's one of our forwards.
Okay, so
absolutely.
There's our striker. Yes.
So I would propose that Raheem Sterling belongs in this list. He belongs 100%. As one of our other forwards. So Khadijah Bunny Shaw, Raheem Sterling. Any objections to those two?
No, not at all.
No.
Yeah, no.
All right,
Sterling.
so
They're
now
like-
it's down. Now it's down to the last spot. Now this is where it gets interesting.
Yeah, there are 6 names in my mind that are like undoubted, and we already named 2 of them. We'll get to the other 4 later. But see, this is where your time being a City fan, what you watch, how it influences you. Because, for
Yes.
example, I did not watch Sean Goater.
Yeah.
I did not watch Sean Wright Phillips.
Trevor
I know
Sinclair.
Kelechi Iheanacho played. That's when I started getting there, but I know he wasn't like a major starter, yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to go with the best talent on that pitch with production and talent and the heights he reached. I'm going Leroy Sané on the right.
What were you gonna say, Crunk?
See, and that's again where I was gonna my City women bias, Nikita Paris, because she did help bring a title to City, and she was a great. I want to say at her height, she scored 19 goals in a season, and they didn't even play that many games, so she was falling out at her heights. But also Leroy Sané is easy, like that. That's the other one. So it could be this one thing where we have Sané and Sterling, and we can add her Nikita as a sub.
So
We're a great team.
I have the same issue or whatever that Sharpie did, right? I only know what I saw. So on one hand, I wanted to pick Sané. On the other hand, I also know that Balotelli was nice, but it was more about the antics and everything that he brought besides, not just. But I mean, as far as going like never missing a penalty kick, the dude was like, just put him on the spot, automatic, boom. We could have used that down through these past few years.
That's right.
So definitely, props to him. But I never saw Sean Wright Phillips. But I know he showed us love in when we were in Carolina last year, signed the cups and everything. So part of me, based on how everyone seems to love him so much, I never saw him play, but people say they were like devastated, brought to tears when he left, right? Yeah. So he obviously had an impact. So I want to say Sean Wright Phillips, and that's what I had written down prior to coming in here, would be Sean Wright Phillips. But again, never saw him, so I can't say what his impact was compared to Leroy Sané's.
I mean, I don't hate it because of the fact that it gives us, we got City women, we got like a true like legend to City with Wright Phillips, and then just a straight up like streets legend, like a top. Statistically, Sterling is up there when it comes to goals and had a comparable season with Messi at his height. So yeah, no, I like that. I like that a lot. And then also Leroy Sané, he left a little early, and I'm not gonna lie, I still hate the way that he left, and it does leave a little like sour taste in my mouth. So I'm okay with it.
Doesn't bother me at all. I still
think
dude. I think dude is like crazy.
What
talented.
Happened is what happened. Yes.
And
yes.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of German influence by the national team, and I can't blame that man for, at being 21, 22, however old he was at the time, 23, and saying all the pressure's on my shoulders, I got to go home. I can't be mad at it.
And it was his parents basically telling him to come home.
And I remember what he did when he was on that wing. Dude was
that 19 shirt, dog.
Yeah, he was a killer. So I got much love for him. I don't care what he does the rest of the
3 years of bliss. Yeah, 3 seasons of joy.
He was insane.
Fro just flopping in the wind. Oh my god, what a time to be alive. Midfield.
So again, this is a situation where it's kind of pretty stuck, especially when we got the names. Yeah. So midfield, I have Nigel De Jong, Fabian Delph, Fernandinho, Yaya Toure, Rico Lewis, and Stan Horn. Stan Horn was Manchester City's first black midfielder. Just got some history in there. He was way before.
Being educated. I love this.
But
I love the history lesson.
Just wanted to put him in.
Can we go with the 2 guarantees and just
yeah,
Yaya and Fernandinho? Like we
Yeah,
got that,
that's a no-brainer. Those two have
That's
to
a
be in
double
this
pivot.
list.
We're good.
If we don't put them in, then I quit. I stop. We're not doing this. We're just
Now
gonna
up to
stop doing
4
this list.
who are
Yeah.
just guaranteed. Like I told you, 6 of them.
Yeah.
No, actually 7, but yeah.
Yeah, there's not even a question about these two.
Yeah.
But now, a name that I had, because I was trying to rack my brain and I couldn't think of all these players. I thought of a lot of them, but not all of them. But a player that I thought about, but he only played for City for a year, and that's Patrick Vieira. It would simply be the name, who he was, not necessarily what his contributions were while he was at City.
And that's fair. But the thing is, Vieira, he's technically that Yaya Toure spot, but we also don't have an attacking midfielder. Like even the players that
Yaya
are on
Toure
here,
could play anywhere on this pitch.
Yeah. Yaya Toure could be a 10 and be great.
He's that
well, if you got dual 8s, he's an 8 for sure. My vote for the 3rd spot, and we can talk about are there 3 votes, so we agree, disagree. I would go Nigel de Jong.
No,
I think Nigel.
So we would have to move Yaya up.
Yeah, moving Yaya up, like 2 8s.
Him. Like
Fernandinho in his prime was an 8. Like he was moving. Like let Nigel sit, or you can have a double pivot with Nigel and Fernandinho.
I know of Nigel de Jong, but I don't really remember him like that.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't pick him. That's the only. But I knew the name. I knew he was one of the people on the list.
And
if I hadn't thought of Patrick Vieira, he would have been the person I put down there.
Yeah, back then when he was playing, I was like, oh yeah, him and Fernandinho.
We could use that steal right now.
Oh yeah, man, because he was like, oh man, I also Douglas Luiz, like he was that dude who like you did not want to fuck with him. Like he was a dude who played no games. Like I very much enjoyed him. So I'm all right with Fernandinho, Nigel de Jong, and Yaya Toure. Nobody.
My only question is there an argument because of what he's won, being an academy grad, making his way in the club? Is there an argument for Rico Lewis because he is a true blue through and through? If we're talking about Sean Wright Phillips in the front, right, for that kind of same cultural reason, Rico's had moments at his young age. He's played multiple years, like a lifetime.
There's an argument to be made, but I would say if we're going off of that, then I would actually go with the Stan Horn pick, who I've never seen, didn't even know the name but because he was the first black midfielder, I think that's something to be said there too. And I would actually, personally, I would pick that over Rico. And again, maybe that's because I'm seeing Rico right now. It's too new, too soon. I don't know.
Yeah. And he played in the 60s, so like.
No way for most of us to see him. Didn't make it over here. So I mean, I'm fine with the young. I just wanted to throw out Rico just for the sake of discussion.
No, I like it. I don't hate it.
He might be on the list.
He starting 10 with the nice little holding double pivot of Yaya and Fernandinho. I'm just saying, Rico in the pocket is active
for sure.
Just want to throw it out there. All right, I'm good though. Back line, black line. As they say.
Okay.
So Vinny Company. Let's just go ahead and put that out there.
And who's the other lock?
There is no list without Vinny Company. And let's just be honest, regardless of how things ended, there is no list without Kyle Walker. You got to be on there.
Yes.
That's why I said 6 spots, guaranteed. These aren't conversation starters. Yeah. A lockdown on the right side of that back line and the back 4. Now, the question for left back is, are you going Nathan Ake? Are you going? Wait, Clichy? Was Clichy left? All right, I'm tripping, right?
Clichy was left, I believe.
That's what I thought. Yeah, so it's between, for me, those are the two between who do you want at the left back, and I'm thinking like again, or just a fender, right? We know Pep's played 4 center backs and want to trouble, but you need left-footed people. So I'm gonna say
I would even say Ake could be the left center back.
Would you pick Ake over Lescott, Julian Lescott?
I really do like Julian Lescott. Like,
that's why I've got Julian Lescott down. So
I really do like Julian Lescott.
Oh, you know what? No, I know. I'm sorry. No, for me, my last 2 spots. This is easy now. I just had to look at the list. I got the double A's. Give me Ake. Give me Akanji. Akanji could play left of Vinny Company. He's fleet of foot enough. And I'll also say he can use both feet passing, and then Ake at my left back. I'm good. I'm good.
And that's
Modern bias. I don't care.
That's what I was going to say. That's
they
too much
won everything.
Bias. That's too
they
much.
Won everything. Why?
To me, it's just, especially to put him, like, I get cliche because he wasn't really a part of the consistent winning with City. But Joel Lescott, like, that's like a streets now. Like, so like, let's say this. If we put Lescott in, I'm willing to take off De Jong and put Rico on.
I'll make that trade with you. I'll make that trade. That's worth it for me. That's worth it. That's worth it. I love it. See, we can talk. We can communicate. This is great. There we go. So Rico's our 10. Lescott, get you and your hairline up there. And then who's our left back? Is it Clichy or is it Ake?
Ake.
I think
I'm
Ake.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Consensus. We love this.
In 5 years, we might be saying Nico O'Reilly locked in on that spot. But right now,
I hope so.
But right now,
too soon. But yeah.
Okay, so then for our subs, our 5 subs, I have
Keeper's Edison, right? Like that was my 7th win.
My bad.
Yeah, keeper's Edison.
Keeper's Edison.
Yeah. No, I mean, is there?
I didn't consider him in this one. So, but yeah, I mean, if we're considering him, absolutely. See,
if we consider Fernandinho and Fernando, we gotta consider Edison.
Yeah,
they countrymen.
Fair enough.
That's fair.
I came prepared to put Kiara Keating in here because again, I want to see another female representation on here. So I just put Kiara Keating and call it a day. And
then Alex Williams, he was the first black keeper for even the 3 Lions. He had a bad neck injury, which curtailed his career, but he was headed towards being possibly one of the best like goalkeepers of all time. Like, he was, and I've watched a few of his like old highlights, and he was jumping out the gym. He was revolutionizing the game. Okay, so then subs: Nikita Paris, Rico Lewis, Nigel De Jong.
No, Rico's starting. Remember, Rico's our starter.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry, not Rico. Nigel De Jong, Sane. So Paris, Sane, De Jong. Will
Akanji as a defender. He's versatile. He's a utility man.
And then we'll do Keating because
you gotta have a keeper.
We didn't say anything about Nedum
because he wasn't that great.
I would not say. I'm not gonna say all that.
I will. Being on the same levels as other people. What are we doing here, guys?
He's not.
He's a great representation.
I want to give him some props because we don't have a spot for.
He's a great servant of the club. Yes.
Great servant. Yeah, forever. Club icon.
I don't want to.
Club ambassador. Club ambassador. That's the word. He's a great club ambassador. Yes. Yeah, phenomenal. Yes. Yeah, come on now. Ain't trouble. That man career, we know it. Wikipedia is free. Like I tell my kids, Google's free. We know where he went. We know what he did.
Oh my gosh. He was on the opposite end of the 93-20 moment. So
yeah,
it is
QPR.
Hey.
Okay. We'll keep it moving. That was fun. I'll make a graphic for this tomorrow to put out. But City men, the match in Aston Villa. Okay, Holland has 11 goals in the league with Nunes, Foden, Sharpie, and Reijnders, all with 1 goal each. That is not great because that means City having to be extra reliant on a striker, especially before World Cup. Is Pep worried about that? Overworking this striker before he has to represent Norway and also practically carry that team.
Oh, I'm so sorry for my colleague Solbakken, national team from Norway, but I'm not thinking about that. So maybe at the end, when we win the Premier League for 10 points in front, 10 fixtures before, and after we'll take a rest. But now he feels fit, he feels fine. And of course there are games like he's already, solved. When I look tired, of course he's going to play, but we are in the position right now in Champions League is massively important. The games we have played so far and the next 2 games, like the next 2 games at home, they will give us the really chance to finish in the first 8 and the Premier League.
Well, Pep, think of the Ballon d'Or. Please, he needs to have a great showing in the World Cup in order to keep up with all of these other teams and players for the Ballon d'Or. It doesn't matter how great of a Premier League season he has. They still gave the Ballon d'Or to Messi over Haaland, and it should have been his, but I divert. Knowing City have struggled at Villa Park, Liverpool are down bad, and Arsenal's defensive line is scoring more goals than they're allowing. Are Manchester City still in the title race?
Well, in the first 3 games, yeah, for sure we are out, and Liverpool is already done, and now it looks like Liverpool is done. And I tell you that they will be back. So I said many times, so I know that all the pundits, all the specialists, former players, they know everything is going to happen after 5 games. I'm not able to do that. So always I wait 10, 15 games to know exactly what is going on. But I think obviously Liverpool, Arsenal are there. Someone else will be there, and hopefully we can be there.
And someone else. There are some teams, Sunderland, Bournemouth. They're trendy names all over the place. And lastly, before I get into the match, Pep was asked, because City have struggled at Villa Park. Villa, in their last 19 Premier League home games, they boast a record of 11 wins, 7 draws, and only 1 loss. What makes them such a tough squad in the first place?
Defensively is really good set pieces also, and after that is I had the feeling that improved a lot in the last years in terms of the build up, and I think with the keeper that they have an incredible build up. It's so difficult to control the pressing, and they bring a lot of players in the middle. The connections between them is really good. 2 holding midfielders connect really good break the lines with all the structures. Always break the lines inside, outside. And when that's happened, they are so quick in the zones. Attacking quick with the speed that they have up front. A part of that, the transition, the physicality. This is a really complete team.
Starting 11, Donnarumma, Variol, Diaz, Stones, Nunes, Reijnders, Silva, Foden, Savio, Bobb, and Holland. Shout out to everyone who joined us for the watch along. It was really nice to have Tom Bomb join us before kickoff for a moment. I asked the show bros if they were worried about the midfield like I was, so I will now ask, starting with you, Tarik. When you saw that midfield, Reijnders, Silva, and Foden going against Onana, Kamara, and Rodgers, did you have alarms and sirens going off in your head, or was that just me?
Oh, definitely had alarms and sirens and all of the things going off, because it didn't feel like it was going to be physical enough to keep up with the Villa midfield. Obviously would have wanted to see Nico G. I wasn't sure if he was available, because again, I did see that he was on the bench, but was it a matter of he wasn't healthy? Why was he not there? I wasn't sure. So if you take him off, do you go with Kovacic? Being down Rodri already and then losing Nico G is a for real game changer. So yeah, definitely concerned.
I'll say this. I'll say my honest reaction then and what I should have said. My honest reaction then was like, hey, we'll be fine. We'll be fine, right? And I think fine is okay. But if we talk about being competitive, being good, I do believe that because of experience in the role, like he's played it before in the Premier League, Kova would have been a better option. Just because he knows what to do more than Reijnders. That was his first time ever playing DM for City. He played at Cole. And now he stepped up. He gives his best, as we'll talk about. But I just think Kova in that experience, you're not trying to win this match 4-0. Like, you're trying to just honestly come out with at least a point, right? At least on the road. So I would say like Kova probably would have been a better option. Mute Crunk.
Yeah, they appreciate it. Kova would have been my thoughts as well. I wouldn't have felt much better, but I definitely would have felt better than Reijnders. All in all, City had the momentum up until about that 12th minute. That was when the energy just plummeted. I believe it was, yes, a mixture of fatigue, but also I really think I think it was frustration from the players. Like so many times they almost made the right pass. That could have been a big chance. And then by the time that O'Reilly, Gonzalez, and Doku came on in the 61st minute, the match felt done already. Sharpie and Marmoush really couldn't change anything when they came on for the Sharpie came on in this like the 76th minute, Marmoush in the 82nd or something like that. 16 shots and 3 on target in the second half. Holland's chance in the 22nd minute, Savio's chance in the 60th minute. Those were really the only like big moments that truly brought joy, but that was fleeting.
So FOTMOB has it as a 4-1-4-1. Is that how you saw it on the pitch? As opposed to like a 4-2-3-1?
With the pressing, I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. So having Reijnders as a lone 6 would have never made sense to me. Even if you were bringing on Kova, I still feel like without Rodri or even Nico G, and even with Nico G, I still would prefer having more of a 4-2-3-1. Have 2 holders that can kind of get stuck in. Don't let people get too far up, and have Reijnders trying to do all of that by himself. And he's not a big physical tackling, ball winning kind of a presence. So I just felt like that was a bad decision.
Ooh, yeah.
That stressed me out. Oops, I'm trying to hit the. So, what I want to discuss is something I asked Sharpie at the end of our watch long that I enjoyed. Well, I'm gonna try to use it a little more often. The good, the bad, and the ugly of the match. I will go through each one. I'll give my thoughts why, and then we can kind of like just go from there, talk from there. The good, Foden, Diaz, Nunes. Diaz with a 7.4 rating, Nunes with a 7.7 rating, and Foden with a 7.9 rating on FOTMOB. Diaz went 7 for 7 winning aerial duels. That was insane seeing that. Nunes was one of the calmer heads on the pitch. I never thought I'd ever say that. And then Foden, he created 7 chances. He won 6 of 8 ground duels and had 6 defensive contributions. If it was not for those 3 players, the score could have been worse. And it was like,
I feel like you have to include Donnarumma in that if you're going to include those players.
His rating wasn't the best. And
yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about what happened on the pitch. There was a couple of saves that he made that, yes. If he doesn't get there, they win this game more easily than a 1-0. Again, that's his job. Just like everybody else's job is to do whatever they do. But I just feel like if we're going to list out people who showed well for themselves, I know what FOTMOB says. I feel like he was one of those people that showed well for himself, nonetheless.
Oh, no. I mean, and I don't disagree, because there was that point that I think he was like 5.4 after the goal, and he worked his way up to like the 6.7 that he was. You don't do that without playing really well. When you give up a goal, you end up just falling behind. So it kind of is what it is. He did his job, and even the goal that he let pass, that goal, like truly, shout out to Matty Cash. He's a right-footed player who just struck the ball well. Like, he knew exactly what he was doing. It had to go perfectly. He He received the ball the entire time. He's watching the ball. He's not looking at all as to who's around him, who's going to potentially stop the ball. He just goes, hey, I know if I dribble to this spot and I kick the ball this way, it will end up where it goes. Even his celebration was like the chip wedge. Like that. Tarik, what do you do with the chip? How are you hitting that? Is it purposeful? Are you hitting it however as hard as you can? If you ever have to chip, in theory,
Bruh,
obviously.
Have you not heard me talk about my golf game?
I know that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
When Oeste is on here,
what would you do with
dude? If I do something, it's very seldom intentionally. No, that's not entirely true. No, I mean there is definitely you go up there with intentionality. There's, you know what you're doing to try to, if you're hitting a chip versus a drive versus whatever else. So yeah, there's some intentionality there, but my golf game is probably I don't know that Matty Cash's golf game is that
his
great
might not
either.
be any better either.
His swing didn't look that great in his celebration. So I don't know. Points deducted from me.
Yeah, he did. He also did like the Happy Gilmore. He ran onto the swing. Like, bro, come on now. We can't be doing.
If he embraced that fully, I would have just been like, hey, kudos. Because, hey, I get it, but we had a little mixture in there.
Yeah, but I mean, thoughts on the goal? Like, were you hoping that the defense would have gotten a body to it? Like, it was kind of all just Donnarumma was all by himself, just standing there to watch it. Everybody was right at the edge of the box.
Sometimes you just have to throw your hands up and say, good shot.
Great shot.
Hey, good shot.
It was the Townsend shot, right? It's that type of goal where you just go, oh, que golazo. Like Matty Cash as a right-footed right back, strongly right-footed, should not be scoring that goal with his left foot. You don't game plan for that. You're not like, hey, stop his left. He's 2-footed. The man's not, Ryan Cherky out here. Like, nobody's expecting him to use both feet. So he caught one lucky. He caught it flush. We just missed it because, again, that's not your main concern on the corner. It's not like that ball fell to, I don't know who their left-footed player would be, but one of their natural left footers. Like, no, like it fell to one is right-footed. He just hit it clean. I do think though, like, I'm sorry, I don't want to say too much about the rest of the match. So I just say like, hey, great shot, Matty Cash.
Oh no, it's fine. Where are you gonna go?
I was gonna go to the fact that like that was their last like serious chance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that was, from what I remember, and again, I'm not rewatching these losses. That's the last serious chance they got, and so it shows us that our base defense is really good. We got better. We had a lull at the end of the first half, picked it up in the second half, and honestly, the man who's the best striker in the world just couldn't get that one chance. He had that shot. It was a shot he's made before. Emi Martinez stepped up. He read it perfectly. And, that's the difference in the game. It's a make or miss league. And so Holland missed one for the first time in 3 months, basically. And, hey, we couldn't generate another shot. Yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Like,
that was
I don't know.
Very unfortunate. Yeah, because we were watching it and we are like, okay, 1-on-1 with the keeper. Holland always slots it in, and yeah, but also that's what Emi Martinez does, man. He is a good keeper. He is who he is for a reason. Okay, so the bad.
I've been on shows where people talk about Donnarumma's aura. As a striker, you're coming in on goal, you see big Donnarumma right there, and you don't have the same amount of confidence because you got to, can I get it over him? Is he going to save it? Emi Martinez is a good keeper. And so he's proven himself throughout the years. So I'm imagining you're like, okay, I got to place this perfect to get it past him. Because if it's not perfect, he'll save it. And again, when you're trying to be perfect, you're never going to be perfect. So
yeah,
sucks. And like you said, we haven't seen Holland really missing. I mean, he's missed shots, but he typically gets his goal a game. And so you just thought it was going to come. You thought that was the moment he's going to get it. And he didn't. So just hey, bad day at the office.
Especially after the play in that first 12 minutes. Yeah, it was funny because I even was saying, oh man, they're getting so close, but it's getting to that point that when you get so close, you almost start ruining it, and you're like, oh my gosh, this could end up being trouble. And then a moment later, I was like, but hey, our defense is doing so well. It's one of those situations that when City were at our best, we were the only way you could score on us were those Townsend goals. It was those moments where it was just like sheer brilliance. You had to fully break us down, and that really was what the Matty Cash was. From the corner, he receives the ball. Bernardo Silva closes in, which forces him to dribble more. He's on his left. I can't remember exactly who it is. Someone else was closing into him as well. And even when he got the shot off, Ruben Diaz was there to deflect. He just turned enough where it went around him instead of into him. Again, it is what it is. There was still plenty of time for City to score. And that was our thought process was, oh, there's still plenty of time. They played well enough in the first 12 minutes. They should be able to figure it out. But they didn't. Our bad was wingers Savio and Bobb. Last season, Bobb's ankle injury stole what felt like was going to be a breakout season for him. We all had hoped that he would take all of that frustration from last season out on the league this year. Not so much. Hasn't really impressed entirely. He's had beautiful moments where he's kind of like dribbling between players, but these last few appearances, you can honestly say he's been invisible. If you go back to the international break, Norway's manager hit Oscar with an ether after their 1-1 draw to New Zealand, saying this about Bobb, quote, he spends a lot of time with the ball, positions himself strangely, and doesn't hit the target with his pressing game. He lacks everything, end quote. Woof. 5 starts in 8 appearances so far this season, 1 assist, no goals, not even a single shot on goal. Pep even said that he wants to see more out of Bobb, that he seems to be just kind of playing inside himself and he needs to take chances. He needs to do more. And you kind of see that with it. His game is so predecessed on timing and playing with the defender's balance that if the defenders kind of just stand still, you see that he isn't quite sure where to go. He has lost his confidence from when he was just running at and taking out defenders last year. What are you seeing from Oscar Bobb? Like, I know it's so close, but I'm same thing with Savio. We'll get to him next, but we're seeing people being like, Oscar Bobb is not good enough to be a City player. We need to get rid of him. Are you starting to feel that way? Do you feel that way? Like, what are your thoughts on him?
I think that's so like immature, disrespectful. There's a lot of words I can think of to say somebody again. We always talk about the academy grads, but then when people have a rough patch, it's like you're not a City player. I feel like Oscar Bobb is having a adjustment to becoming a starting winger in the Premier League, and that is very difficult to do. Even if you're surrounded with Holland beside you and these wonderful talents around you, you still got to go make it happen. And when there's pressure, not just on him, but on everyone else not named Erling Haaland to score goals, not scoring goals is going to be highlighted. But do I think we should get rid of him? Anything? No. Do I think he's better off right now as a sub? I do. I feel like our best starting 11 does not include Oscar Bobb. Hot take, I don't think our best starting 11 includes Savio. I think our best starting 11's wingers would probably be Marmoush on the left and Doku on the right, because you get Marmoush's actual shooting and goal scoring ability along with Doku's creativity on his natural right foot. So I believe, like, I hope I'm right again, like I was about Nunes. I hope that's what I see soon. I think that's the combination that could unlock a lot of things as Pep starts to work in Turkey, and he talked about the process. But I just feel like Savio and Bobb are great subs right now. I don't think they're starters. Or the best starters we have, I'll say that.
That's fair. And even if you, real quick before you go to Tarik, the first person I guess I can come to mind when I think about players who were academy kids who then moved up and the fan base of that team thought the world of him, Bukayo Saka. And I was trying to think, because this is like Bobb's second season as a starter. And if you look at Saka's second season as a starter, he was also like a kid. He was still 18, 19, but he only had 5 goals and 3 assists in his second season as an Arsenal player. So like there is that transition. There is something you're gonna have to take some give and take with him. I definitely agree that he probably would be better off as a sub, but also with Savio, like he's not also hitting the heights either. It's one of those things. He's just as good, if not as good as Savio, and we'll get to him there. What are your thoughts on Bobb? Are you? I already know you're not ready to get rid of him because you are Mr. Protect our academy kids, Derek.
Get rid of him is way too strong, but he's not been good enough, right? To be consistently on the pitch, he's not been good enough. And having seen him last summer, 2 summers ago, whatever it was,
right?
We were so hyped for what could be because he was the star of that preseason tour of the US, in my opinion. More than Haaland, more than anybody else, he was the star. So you thought what you said earlier, you thought that was going to translate over into the last season. He ends up getting hurt. He's trying to work his way through that, I imagine, both physically and mentally. But his on-pitch performance just hasn't been good enough. Never going to say get rid of the kid or he's not City quality or all the things, the hyperbole that gets thrown around, but he's not been good enough. And he is older than Savio. Savio's only 21.
That is so crazy to me. That is wild because Savio's been a veteran, well, been a starter level quality for years and has so many more matches.
That is why the argument about our young players either playing or going on loan will always be a conversation. We might decide that Pep is right and his way is the right approach. But if Bobb had the same playing time that Savio had, could he have done the same thing in La Liga or wherever? I don't know. The reality is he didn't get that playing time. He hasn't gotten that playing time. And so he's just, even though he's older, he's still, in my opinion, less experienced. Now, he does have the luxury of playing for Norway, but you got to go out there and perform, and you cannot get ethered by your manager like that. So, again, I think there is still a lot of work for Oscar Bobb to do. But I still have confidence that there's definitely quality there. And we just hope that we can see it. So yeah, I'll stop there.
And even compared to last season, everybody was like, give McAtee minutes. And he was struggling when he was getting minutes, and they were still like, he's not being played enough. Pep is giving Bobb minutes. He's giving him the opportunity to play and struggle. We're going to have that. In theory, that is why Foden's supposed to step up. That is why Haaland's supposed to step up. There are the other players who are supposed to do their thing to make up for what these new young players could be lacking.
Yeah, but I would have preferred Bobb not start in that match, especially with Swansea right around the corner. He could have got his run in that Swansea match, and maybe the lesser competition would have allowed him to maybe show a little bit better, build a little bit more confidence, a little bit more momentum. Because in my opinion, you go out there and not perform, it almost feels like it's a setback as opposed to building on. Go ahead, Sharpie.
No, I totally agree with that. And I was going to add that I think when you were talking about other people stepping up, this is where Marmoush's injury came at such a not a terrible time, right? Because he's back and he has plenty of season left. But as we know, he's about to leave for AFCON in 2 months. So we're going to miss him for weeks. Like Egypt's probably going to go far in AFCON, right? And so, but I think his veteran ability, we saw his run in last year. Once he got comfortable, he's a shooter. And that's what you need. You need people who want to take the shots, people who will cut in on that right and hit balls. He had the goal of the season because he just says, hey, I'm open, I'm going to hit. He has some beautiful volleys. Like he has the technique. He is a striker by trade. who can play on the left and also has some size, right? That nobody else that can play on the wing does. So I feel like him getting back to full health unlocks our front line, because now you're like, oh, I know Doku can dribble by me, but I don't really fear him cutting in and shooting. But when you put Marmoush out there, either side, right or left, you're like, oh, there's a shot coming across from that right foot somewhere. Either it's curling or it's crossing from right to left, or the keeper. Like, he puts another element of fear. And I think that he might be the key this season to saying, like, okay, other goals need to come from other people. I think it's going to be Marmoush that does it. And our young wingers, who are very young, under 23 wingers, they will have to continue to develop. But this is not, we don't have Riyad Mahrez coming from Leicester, right? We don't have Raheem Sterling, who's, top PL player of the year, candidate. We have wingers that are growing that are not already adult level wingers, right? So that's the kind of up and down flow we're going to get when it comes to those positions outside of who should be Marmoush, Foden, and Holland. I think those have to be your top 3 goal scorers just on seniority.
Yeah, I'm with you. And now to the ugly, actually, hold on, Savio. I mean, we talked about him, so just in general in that match, that he didn't have the best match. 71% pass accuracy, 1 big chance miss, but it really wasn't even a miss. It was just a really good save because the defender got his foot to it because it was going to go in and beat the keeper.
It was like a double save.
Yes.
It was the first shot, and then the ball came back to him. He got the second one, and then I think the keeper, one of them, the keeper saved. The second one, I think, was the defender, Pau Torres, got a foot to it, sends it up. That's, I mean, again, I can't fault Savio for not scoring. It's just they were resolute in their defending, and I got to take my hat off to them. As opposed to just always looking to crucify our players. At some point, those people across the pitch from us, across the white lines from us, those are professionals too. They get paid to do a job too. So it can't always be about us being good, bad, or indifferent. Sometimes the other team gets a say in it too. And so I just think we got to be mindful of that too. So.
Wow, look at that. Who knew there could be room for rationality and, just understanding that Aston Villa is not Burnley. Like, that is a real ass club that has been to Europe. They were just in Champions League, or Europa League, whatever. Like, no, Champions League, yeah. They know how to play football. And Unai Emery is a top manager. Like, this is not us going up against a rookie. And he always plays pep tough. So it makes sense. It just, would you want to leave with 3 points? Of course. Would I want that score to be flipped like Arsenal's was? Of course. I want that 1-0 win on the road. Tough. It just didn't happen that game, and all we can do is move on to Swansea.
Yeah. And one more thing before I move on to the ugly, because this is a conversation that was happening a lot, specifically with Savio. Because people are like, he's 21. And people are like, this was Sane when he was 21. And is it fair to compare current wingers to the likes of Sterling, Sane, and Mahrez? And I guess you could throw the 1.5 good seasons from Grealish. But if you think about it, Raheem Diaz, Patrick Roberts, Cole Palmer, James McAtee, they all left. Julian Alvarez hated playing on the wings. Gabby Jesus only had a couple of decent games over there. No Lito. If you think about it, they are doing just as good, if not better, than most of those names. It's just they haven't quite hit the heights of some of our best wingers in this Pep era. Like, I just think it's very tough to compare them to those guys, especially again to Mahrez, who had already won the league with Leicester. He arrived as a whole ass man, 27 years old. He knew who he was. Sterling had the time to be the guy at Liverpool and wasn't fully embraced, which is what happened when he came to City. He was fully embraced. Sane was unleashed, and Pep was just like, do your thing. We haven't yet seen that from these players, and I hate seeing them being compared to like the shadows of City old. Then the ugly is Reijnders at holding mid. We knew he had the potential to struggle, but yikes. He was dispossessed twice. 0 for 1 in successful dribbles, 0 for 7 in ground duels, 2 recoveries, 4 fouls committed. If you look at his season performance, stats per 90, he's in the low 50 percentile in goals, XG on target, shots on target, but he's in the 76th percentile for shots. Not even on target, just shots. He's just shooting. Defensively, it's bad. 16th percentile in tackles, 18th percentile in recoveries, 86th percentile in dribbled past. He's not contributing to the attack, but he is a detriment defensively. Again, similar to like the Savio and the Bobbs, like what should we expect from him right now? We saw him ball out at Club World Cup, but since then we really haven't gotten much from him. He seems like he's trying a little too hard.
I think there's that balance, right, of like shoot or shoot, and you can't score goals unless you shoot, but it also has to be like take the right shots. And I think midfield might be the position where like familiarity and time is super important. Like I have to know where Phil Foden is going to be. I need to learn Erling Haaland's runs. Think about it. It took Doku literally a season and a half, maybe 2 whole years with Haaland to finally be like, oh, I get it. I can't expect Reijnders to pick that up in 10 matches or whatever, right? Like with all competitions. I would love for him to come in and have the season Jude Bellingham had at Real Madrid his first year. It would be amazing. But there's a reason he's Jude Bellingham and he's Tijani Reijnders. Like they're different levels of player, even though they play similar positions. That's just a fact. That's why I wanted Jude. But you know, you take what you can get and you say, hey, what are you bringing to us? Well, he has the legs. And Lord knows we need those legs at an 8 because we didn't have them last year and we saw we suffered. So he's running, he's moving, he's fit, right? He's available. That helps. I think the other things come over time.
So I think this is where, to a certain extent, me and Sharpie are going to disagree. Because I do agree that it is too early to make a definitive decision on whether he's good enough, not good enough, whatever. He wasn't good enough in this game. He's not, in my opinion, good enough to be a 6 for us. He's got to play 8 or maybe 10, but he can't play 6. But he is 27 somewhere. Let me. I used to have it sorted, and then I moved away, and then I stopped sorting it. So he is. This is really bad radio. He's 27. I expect you to have experience, and I don't have time for you to. You got to get time to bed in, but you don't get the same time that a 21-year-old gets.
So the question is,
I'm
what's that amount
bringing
of
you
time?
on for your experience. I'm bringing you in because you were, I guess, player of the year or midfielder of the year, whatever it was for Serie A, right? I'm expecting you to come in and have an impact. 10 games is not enough to make that decision. But by the turn of the new year, I need to see you thriving. I can't keep hoping and praying and just playing you with the thought that maybe it'll figure out. At some point, you got to come good. And I'm going to give you the first until, January 1, 2026. And then you got to hit.
That's
if you're not
fair.
already.
Yeah, that's 2 whole more months. November, December, festive fixtures, all competitions in play. I think that's fair. I think the problem is if you take him out of a starting 11, you're either going older Bernardo beside Foden, or you're going far less defensive Shirky, right? So like I mean, or you going Rico Lewis, right? So like the options behind him all have a deficit. Where Reijnders, I think, is the best all-around option, which is why we got him. But it's definitely like once you take him off, you are losing something that he has.
But if Rodri is relatively healthy, Nico G is relatively healthy, I could play the two of them and let Foden have just be free. Because
True.
Nico G will play the ball forward just as much as Reinders will. He's more defensive, he's got the same, he's gonna run, he's gonna do all the things. I think that is an option that we need to see that we haven't seen yet.
I would love that. That's dependent on Rodri's health.
Sure.
And getting back to full thing. So maybe that's the thing that comes, like you said, after in 2026.
Yeah. And if I can remember correctly, Johnny, he's in the top 3 of the squad of progressive passes. So like he is the guy who is willing to feed Holland. He is the guy who's willing to feed Doku, feed Savio. He is the person who is willing to embrace the transition, where last season we really didn't have many people doing that. Yeah, he leads the team. 37 progressive passes to Vardial's 33. Nico Gonzalez is right there with 32, and Foden's with 31. So he is the player who doesn't have that fear of taking those chances, making those passes. Post match, we've done great talking about the game. I love this conversation, honestly, because it's more about the squad themselves than necessarily the game, because the game is what the game was. Someone said to Pep that he hasn't won in 3 straight games at Villa Park, and Pep immediately responded that Villa, they've lost 3 straight at the Etihad, which, if we're going to argue it down, City have only lost the last 2 at Villa. The third was a draw. And you have to go all the way back to September 2013, and that's the last time that Aston Villa has beaten Man City without Unai Emery. So Unai really is the difference maker. And you have to go back to September 2012, and that was the last time that Villa won in the Etihad. Bernardo, post-match, very easily, simplistically said what wrong with in the match.
Fair play to them, first of all, because they're a quality team. They have a lot of fantastic players. They've been with the same manager for a long time, so they know what they're doing exactly. I also do believe that the beginning of the game was really good, and then it became a more transitional game because we allowed it to happen. We always arrived late to our duels. Our pressing was really bad, and when our defensive side of the game is not correct, is not good, we always struggle also offensively, because nowadays in the Premier League you need to be really good defensively to then attack well, and I think that's what lacked today.
And Pep, a little more specifically, said what Villa did well.
We missed in the first half when they link behind our strikers or wingers, whatever, to be on the duels 2 against 1, 3 against 2, or 4 against 2. That many times they were able, maybe because they are good, we are not good enough defensively today. They were able to get out for that positions, and after they ran, and after they took a little bit control, a part of the set piece.
Yeah, simple enough. And it was. Shout out to Onana. Like, this is one of those situations where it's a 1-0 loss. It is easier and it makes more sense to give Aston Villa credit than it does to insult and go at the City players. Onana was fantastic in that build-up. The way that he was able to make space for himself, to be able to relay the ball off to a Kamara, to Morgan Rogers, who played fantastic. They did their thing. Jadon Sancho came on in the second half. I was ready to laugh at boy. He did decent. Like, he didn't stick out, but like, he also didn't make the team struggle. Like, they did the right things. Unai Emery has these lads taught very well. The home crowd gives it up. They support. They do their thing. It's a tough place to play in.
Yeah, he did get subbed off, but I
He
also
got
think that was
subbed
like
on
game.
and
I
then
think that was
subbed
game
off.
state. Yeah, like I think that was like, hey, when I was like, it's the end of the game, we're gonna lock up this 1-0. Like we don't need a winger anymore, in my opinion. Like
Was
I
he
don't
the one
think
that
he
came
will be.
on for Buendia when Buendia went out? Okay.
Yeah,
So he probably wasn't expected to come on that early. And then to your point, maybe it was always going to be Buendia coming off at that point in the match.
Yeah.
For a defensive substitution. Okay. So I won't laugh at him then.
Yeah, no, he was
because
Because you know
played a solid.
subs being substituted is like a rare thing. People don't really do that. That's like a slap
Yeah,
in the face.
yeah, he did 30 minutes after the injury, and then he got subbed out in the 75th, which is when Barkley and Guasan came on to
the
like
song.
showed up.
That dude is a fucking horse. That
He's a
was
unit. Him and Onana, that's a big ass midfield, dog.
Bro.
With Morgan. Oh, we didn't talk about Morgan Rogers.
Yeah.
That man is a bully. Okay, what he did to Johnny Reijnders, bro, that was an old school English ass whipping. He is so strong with the ball. Like you can't get nobody could get him off the ball when he wanted to go. And you just saw like I mean, it's always City's detriment, but it's like you said, if you don't have Nico or Roger, you really have no chance. Like Kova couldn't have dealt with that. Tijani couldn't have dealt with that. Shit, John Stones can barely deal with it, right? Because he don't have the pace. So it's just like you are at a detriment when you're down your two best defensive mids. And honestly, for us to only concede a one-time worldie as a goal, like the defense stood up. It was just a lucky hit, man. A 0-0 draw would have been more of a fair result than a 1-0 loss.
Yes, exactly. Oh, okay. Swansea City, Carabao. Big ups to Luke of Swancast for joining me for an episode of Breaking Bread, our match preview series. By the time you're listening, the episode should already be out, so check that out if you haven't. I'll be doing a watch along for the game on Wednesday as well, 15 minutes prior to kickoff, 2:30 Central, 7:30 Greenwich Mean Time. Swansea City, they sit in 13th in the championship, 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw in their last 5 in all competitions. Swansea beat Nottingham Forest 3-2 in the previous round of the Carabao. Their best player this season has been their keeper, Lawrence Figueroa, which isn't the best when your best player is a keeper. They have 12 goals this season, with 11 of them in open play, 1 via penalty. They play a possession-based football, but do very little with the ball, averaging 1 goal per match. Dead last in the championship in XG, 21st to 24th in shots on target, and 3rd in the league in yellow cards. This match will be tough and ugly. My show bros, what are your thoughts and score predictions?
We need 3 goals. So I say we get 3 goals. Like we need to score. And Holland's not starting. It should be Marmoush, right? It should be Phil Foden gets a rest. It should be Shirky getting his start. Go produce. They're gonna play low, figure out the first goal in the first half, open it up. So I expect 1-0 at halftime, 3-0 by the 80th minute. 3-0 win. What about you, Tarik?
I like your script. I like your script. I like the way that plays out. I agree completely. The vast majority of our squad needs to be completely switched out. Give people a chance to get game time.
I'll take Mukasa coming up. I would love that. Get him a start.
Maybe, but I don't know where I would fit him, because I would have Marmoush as the 9, in my opinion, and then I don't know where he fits if I do that. So
it's like because you got Rico and Shirky starting. Maybe put him on the bench. Yeah. But no, because Holland shouldn't even be on the bench. He doesn't need to be an option.
Yeah,
Holland should
he can stay home.
Holland should
stay at
home.
Manchester.
Yeah.
Him and Phil
Watch it on
Foden.
TV.
Yeah, enjoy. Go be with your family.
Yeah. Especially if players like Kuzanov are coming back, Ait Nori, all those players should be playing. So, yeah. But I like a 3. I'll take 3-0. Sure. I don't really have anything to base it off of, so I'll be like, fine.
I think it's hilarious that with rotation and because of injury, that Ryan, I, and Nori, Marmoush, Shirky, those are the players who are going to have to start because we have to rotate. I love it. It's
international players, like players that will play. Like that's the depth we have when we're healthy, and it's coming.
Yeah,
like it is coming.
And also, I like 3 up, that 3-0. I'm here for it. I would love it. We need at least 3 goals. Perfect. We'll keep it moving to Bournemouth, Man City. Welcome. Second place Bournemouth to the Etihad. The Cherries have not lost a match since August 26 against Brentford. 4 wins, 3 draws, and since their last loss, Savio, Kluivert, and Tavernier blaze up the pitch on every counterattack. Savio is in the best form of his career. He has 6 goals and 3 assists. What is wild is he has a 3.8 xG from his 6 goals. That means he's playing above himself, scoring from the smallest of chances. Bournemouth, the 3rd in the league with interceptions per match, 5th in clearances per match, 2nd in possession, 1 in the final 3rd per match. Incredibly aggressive, off the ball, on the ball. Bournemouth, they welcome clearing the ball. Like, they have no problem just booting it down the pitch. But what they do is they swarm up the pitch to win that 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th ball. They will do whatever is possible for them to get the possession, and then they just think about scoring. Showbros, how do you see this match going in score predictions?
What you think, Tarik?
I think it'll be a tight match. They'll be physical in midfield. People like Tyler Adams will be trying to bully our midfield, but I'm gonna say we win. I'm gonna go 2-1, although part of me wants to say 2-0, but I'm gonna go 2-1. Savio is a beast though.
Yeah. I think this right here, Crunk, going back to your start with the Nunes question where he ranks, if he locks down Savio this match, because Savio hasn't scored in a while, but if he locks him down and keeps him off the score sheet, keeps him off the sheet, right, goal or assist, I think that's an incredible performance. Last week, they got this kid, Croppy, the French kid, 19 years old, just scored against Nottingham Forest. I think he scored 2 matches in a row. But for me, I look at the back line, man. Like, those names don't scare me. I don't know them. I'm sorry. They put no fear in my heart. They just gave up 3 goals to Crystal Palace, so they can get got. And I think we get them. I think Arrested Haaland comes back. He starts a new scoring streak, and City win. I'll say 2-1.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a 1-goal win. 1-0,
Especially if that's
1. Yeah, something like that. Okay. We will keep it moving to Baby Blue Baddies and previewing score prediction, their game against West Ham. Shout out to Leslie for joining me for the first time to talk about West Ham in our match preview series, Breaking Bread. That will be out soon. I'm basically just going to put it out after this Carabao Cup match. West Ham have not won a single match in the league this year. 6 games, 6 losses. They have scored 2, allowed 17. The only games that they have won are league games. They beat Brighton 2-1. That was a couple of games ago. They smashed Crystal Palace, the relegated side, and then beat Charlton. So they can punch down, but whenever they have to face anything up or near their height, they struggle mightily. This should be, especially after the Newcastle match and how badly that went. England losing to Brazil, kind of getting punked in their international break match. I would like to believe our English players are going to want to show up and show out. I'm hoping for a pretty big win, 4-0, 5-0. We need to win by at least 4 goals.
I love that shout. I know West Ham has conceded the same amount we've scored, which is 17, and they've only scored 2 in the WSL. So that margin, they're averaging about almost giving up 3 goals a game. So that's like the standard for them, right? So I think we get 4. I think it's a shutout. And we know how important goal differential is. And right now we're like 4 behind United. Then they're plus 13, we're plus 9. So even though they're behind us in the table, we got to make sure we rack up goals whenever we can.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we go at it. And honestly, I think they push, man. This is a get-right game. I think we go for 5. Let's go 5-0.
Ooh, I like
Does
that.
the fact that they're coming back from an international break make you temper what you would normally expect? Just because they're traveling, some cases from near or from far. So I don't know when they actually get back, but I don't know. I don't like. Have they played all their last matches already, or are
I
they
think the
sometime
U.S.
this
women
week?
played yesterday. I think yesterday was the last one. I don't know.
No, the U.S. women played on Wednesday.
Okay, so it's that time. Yeah,
So
that
I'm
well, Bunny's
wondering.
healthy. Bunny stayed. And that's the thing. That's the most
Yep.
important
Yeah.
to me.
So
Yeah.
I was gonna just temper it some and say it's probably 3, although on a normal week it might be 4 or 5 plus. So I'm gonna say 3-0.
Okay. We got 2 home matches, so I hope that the home crowd can lift.
Yeah.
You know, the supporters club can get them going, and an early goal will open the floodgates for sure. Just don't be crappy. Like Newcastle was our bogey match, and I hope that we got it out of our system. That's for sure.
Please. Perfect. All right, that was our episode. Let's go. Shout out to the show, bros. Make sure you rate if you're listening on an audio podcast, 5 stars. Leave a review, say some nice things. If you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, leave a comment. We appreciate all that stuff. Check out our Patreon. Hit the link in the episode description. You can see you don't have to subscribe immediately. You can hit that link, see what shows we have, episodes we have. I have everything also video on demand. So if you're not entirely sure, you can just buy one episode and be like, oh no, they do work over here. Let me subscribe. Appreciate y'all. Show bros. We'll start with you, Tarik. Let people know where they can find you and the things that you do.
You can find me on social media at Tarik Peterson, TarikPeterson. Blue Sky, Twitter. You can also find me on YouTube.
YouTube.
Doing Talkback Tuesday. So we're recording this on a Monday night. So for us tonight, it'll be tomorrow night at 6:30 Eastern time. We're gonna kick it off. Probably go for an hour and a half just to see. But the YouTube is just my name as well. So Tarik Peterson. So if it's like youtube.com at Tarik Peterson or whatever. So that should get you there as well. So appreciate all
I'll be
the
there.
support.
I'll be
Appreciate all
there.
the support. Yeah. Appreciate it. Look
Yeah, I'll
forward
pull up on
to
the back end for sure. For me, just at Sharpie Charlie. It's college football season. Today is the sports equinox as we're recording. So you have MLB, MLS, hockey, NBA, and NFL Monday night. It's just a great night to be a sports fan. In the fall, it's like everything's back. So it's a good time.
Yes, sir. Any and everything for the pod at Shades of Blue NW, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all of the social medias, apps, whatever. Just hit at Shades of Blue NW. We gonna pop up. Until next time, you know the vibes. Shady gang, shady gang, shady gang.